Happy Sunday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 439. It is Sunday, October 5th, 2025. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. I have a cat that's kind of hanging out down there, sitting on one of my portable cardstock holders. And he wants attention. So if you hear anybody meowing, it's because he's being ignored. Right, Bart? Right? Yeah. All right. I'm talking to a cat who doesn't talk back, and I'm talking to a camera who doesn't talk back. All right. I talk to myself all the time. Let's get that. All right, I'm going to put you down at the table in just a second. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away, and I'll let you know when I am done messing around with the camera. So hold on. So hopefully you've had a great weekend so far. Like I said, it is Sunday. All right, so we're just going to loosen this up and turn down. There we go. Bye, Bert. Oh, you steal my chair? Yep. I can't sit back down. Well, that's not going to happen. Right? Right, Bert? All right, so let's put some light on the subject. Let's see. I think we're good, right? Hands. Let's squish in just a tad bit. There we go. Yep. All right, so again, my name is Joy Borwedge. I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. My YouTube page is Joy A. Borwedge. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. And my email address is penguinz33@outlook.com. And you can request a catalog if you so choose. If you don't have a demonstrator that you're working with, that is this. And then we also have the holiday mini catalog that we're working with. And then the online exclusives. Now, this is September's release. Online exclusives are available only in the online store. And so you will not see them in a publication. However, I haven't had a chance to go in and print out the October releases. So, well, technically, it's November releases, but for us demonstrators, we get to pre-order a month early before everybody gets a chance to get and order them. So that's one of the things about being a demonstrator that is really cool, is that we get to pre-order product, and we also get a 20% discount. I actually get a 25% discount on my purchases. All right. Sorry about that. So, welcome, Tina. So, as October started, Stampin' Up! Did something they've never, ever done before. They have 2 different ways to sign up to be a demonstrator. Now, the normal cost of signing up to be a demonstrator is $99, and you get to pick out $125 worth of product. No, they've changed that. This is a whole month special. So if you would like to sign up to be a demonstrator, you get to pay only $99, but you get to pick out $189 worth of product in the online store, the holiday mini catalog, the last chance products, and the annual catalog. So, I mean, there's quite a bit of places that you get to choose product. Now, I would actually go for this one. And the reason why I say that is because if you were to have an order for $189, you're paying shipping on that. Whereas it's free shipping, but you only pay 99 bucks. So, I mean, that's really cool. You get to pick out whatever you want that goes in your starter kit. Now, you don't have to do Facebook Lives. You don't have to be on YouTube. You don't have to have stamp camps. You don't have to have any of that. You just have to have a quarterly minimum So there's only 4 quarters in a year, obviously. It's called a quarter. And you have to have $300 in sales. Now, that doesn't all have to be you. It could be you getting your girlfriends together and having them also place orders. Plus, you get to make a commission on what they purchase. So, I mean, it's kind of so worth it, as Dawn says. Hi there, Dawn. Welcome. She's one of my new recruits, and she just signed up, and that is pretty cool. Now, the other one is you only pay $35, but you get to pick out $125 worth of product. Again, no shipping. If there's a huge wish list, say your wish list is more than $189, what you do is you get this kit. As soon as you pick your stuff, right, you get a demonstrator number. As soon as you get that demonstrator number, you can go into the online store, and whatever you purchase from then on is going to be 20% off. Now, you don't have to sell anything or purchase anything through the end of April, I believe it is. And then you drop, okay? But if you continue having $300 in sales, then you get to still retain your 20% discount. Plus, being a part of my team, I only have one other person besides Dawn. And so I'm just like a little fishy. And we have a monthly meeting with my upline and sidelines. So Dawn, I'm going to get your information and hand that out. And so then you'll be able to join us for our next Zoom meeting. But then also, if you attend my stamp camps, like Dawn, you don't pay to receive, you get to come to my stamp camps for free. So Dawn and Tina are coming on Sunday to my stamp camp, and if you place an order of $50 or more, the stamp camp is free, but because Dawn is my recruit, she doesn't have to pay. So that is one of the perks of being a demonstrator. And plus, you get to meet really cool people. And I've been doing this since 1999. And I have met so many people through Stampin' Up! That I would have never met. I have a sideline that's in Iowa, and I love her to death, like a sister. And went to the store conventions with her and her friends from Iowa. All right, coming up on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so 3 days only. All-inclusive kits are going to be 30% off. Now, my suggestion would be to go into the online store, hit the drop-down menu, and hit kits. And then whatever is in the all-inclusive kit, that means that everything is included in that kit, like this box here. And then you get 30% off. Now, there while supplies lasts. So if something sells out, you may, like I said, you're going to want to get to it early, okay? Then we have that stamp that is called the Love and Courage. Stampin' Up! Is going to donate $3 to breast cancer organizations throughout the country. So that is in the holiday mini. The last chance products has been uplifted. Updated. So new products have hit the last chance list, which means they will not be restocked. Once they have sold out, they will move to the discontinued list, and you will not be able to purchase them anytime whatsoever. Also, previous items that had a discount, their discount might have been increased. So check that out. Now, we had the, let's see what it's called, World Card Making Day. And if you signed up to be a participant of that fun group, Stampin' Up! Sent you a link Well, Stampin' Up! Sent me a $5 voucher on my next order because I registered. So if you don't see that, check your spam box. But anyways, the Handmade and Heartfelt Kit was the presentation, and it's still available in the online store. And this might be 20% off. I'm not sure. Or sorry, up to 30% off. Things might be 10% off. Things might be 20% off. So go check that out. You never know. That might be on sale. Then Paper Pumpkin. Now, if you are a subscriber to Paper Pumpkin, this is a very great time to get. You got this one? Tina, you got the Handmade and Heartfelt Kit? I loved what they did with it in the presentation. They didn't put together all the cards. They put together 3 out of the 5 designs, I believe. And I really like the idea that it has a storage unit in there to hold. So it sits on your desk and you think of somebody and automatically everything's sitting there for you. The card, the envelope, the postage, the pen. I mean, the only thing that you don't have in there is the address. I have a Rolodex. But anyways, okay, cool. This one here is called Wrapped in Cheer. Now, this is a Paper Pumpkin. This is kind of a surprise. Now, the Paper Pumpkin is a subscription plan, whereas the kits, you get to go into the online store, hit kits, and then choose. Whereas the Paper Pumpkin, you don't know necessarily what you're getting. However, to get this one, Wrapped in Cheer, you need to subscribe. Hi, Tommy, welcome. You need to subscribe between October 11th through November 10th, and then you will get this kit. Now, this kit is perfect for small treats and perfect for gift cards. So, I mean, great way to give cheer to many, many people. All right, then, if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you also get a chance to purchase the add-on coordinating products. Now, these last for a quarter as well. So it's October, November, and December. So the kit for October, the kit for November, and the kit for December could use something from this add-on to enhance and make your supplies go wild. But it's also while supplies lasts. Now, Traditions of Christmas bundle is right now not available. I believe it's because the traditional sparkling sequins are not available. So that means when you punch in the 165877 number of the suite, that means it's not going to show up as orderable. However, you can certainly, my kits are dropping, sorry. I moved my sequins and they were holding my kits together. So you can order the bundles, you can order the designer series paper, you can order the ribbon. The only thing you can't get is the sequins. So this is a class based upon the Traditions of Christmas. So if you already have it, go ahead and join the class. It is 170073, and it is a $30 class, and it's only for people who join. So if you don't have this kit, you could try to use what you have, and that way get to make Christmas cards and get ready to go. But because the virtual scrapbooking workshop was such a success, Stampin' Up! Is going to start doing these craft classes. And the last thing I have, well, technically, the second to the last thing I want to bring up is the Advent calendar. Now, this is, again, while supplies lasts. It is $99. The kit is 167335, and it's called the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. What's inside the Advent Calendar has nothing to do with Christmas, okay? It is product that is coordinating with the stamp set. Now, the stamp set comes, it's what I call a 2-pager. So you want to purchase this kit. Now, you can open all the doors if you want, or you could do one day at a time. It's really up to you. All right, so the last thing I have is this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I am having a stamp camp. And so you need to RSVP ASAP. That stamp camp is going to be in my apartment, and I have limited seating. So if you don't RSVP until the end of the week, you might basically be limited on the days you get to choose. Okay, so that's coming up this weekend. We have, my girlfriends and I have an event coming up, and this is November 1st. It's a Saturday, and it's called, you can check it out at thestampinevent.com, and all the information will be there. It's at a church in Highland Park, St. Paul, and I'm going to do a flyby, which is one of the cards that you will be making. Now that card is a fun fold card that you'll be making at that event. So check that out. It's November 1st. Today is November 5th. Okay? So there's 31 days in November. As soon as Halloween is over, it's November. So don't sit on that. Register now so that we can get the amount of card kits prepped and ready to go so that everybody will have a great time. The last one we have is the virtualevent.com. Heidi and I will be making 4 cards each. I should say we'll be designing 4 cards each. And you'll be receiving a packet in the mail, 4 from Heidi, 4 from me. And we basically cannot send you any stamped images, so everything is going to be on die cuts. We're going to be using designer series paper. This way we are allowed to send you the kits. You can craft along using what you have. And so what we normally do is we generally try to, I have the traditions of Christmas branching out. What else? Brain fart. Aurora, Lights of Aurora, and branching out. Lights of Aurora. Oh, and Painterly Pears. So I have been I'm working on my stamp camp, and then as soon as my stamp camp is finished, I will start cutting up for the virtual event. But here's a flyby of one of the cards that you'll be making during the virtual event. That's actually using the Lights of Aurora as well. So sign up for that. And all right, guys. So as you know, in the past few Facebook Lives, I have been going through my old Facebook Lives. Like this one here is Facebook Live number 27. And so what I've done is I went in and I recreated it. And this is Facebook Live number 438. I did this on Thursday. And we used the Botanical Texture Suite Collection and the Need for Tweed out of the online store, and the Earthen Tone Metallic foil. And that is in the Holiday Mini. And so this is the card that I created, kind of taking off of that. Well, tonight is no different. I am taking a card, and this was Facebook Live number 29, and my friend Carolyn won it. And so what I am going to do tonight is recreate this card, something similar, and I'm going to be using something different. Obviously, I can't use this one because it's retired. So what I am going to be using is the Coneflower Celebrations Bundle. Now, this is a 2-pager. The dies cannot all fit on one side, so it's on 2 sides. And this is a photopolymer. It's in the annual catalog. It's on page 82. Now, if you don't own this, this is something that is kind of like, I already have all the flower sets. No, you don't. This one is really cool. This one is totally different, and this was actually, when the catalog came out, it was the first thing that was in my shopping cart, just because look at what the dies do. And let's see here. Yep. Okay. So you have the stamped images right in here, okay? And this die, we're going to be playing with it. Either A, cuts it out so that you have a mini card, or B, you can cut it off and just have that top flower. Just cut it right off there. Then everything else here is a die that is, well, actually, these up here and that right there is a standalone. So that means that it's not going to cut anything out. So these get stamped. Now, the dies that cut these out are also the dies that work with that. So lots of fun. Like I said, something totally different than you probably own. And I've been stamping for a really long time. We're also going to be using the branching out dies. This is from the Holiday Mini, and we're going to be using the ones that are here. I believe that this is going to be a, how do you call it, a sleeper that is going to be in the Holiday Mini catalog, because every time I've done something with it, everybody loves what I do with the stamp set. Okay, we're also going to be working with blends. And what I did with the pumpkin pie and the melon mambo is I swatched the color on here. I always do the light first, then I do the dark, then I do the light, and then I do the dark. Then I do the nib tip, and then I do the brush. So if you were to look at pumpkin pie, you got literally 4 different colors there. Now, in the melon mambo, these 2 colors are pretty much the same, okay? But a little different in my eye. They might look the same while on the camera. So that's what we're doing. I didn't swatch these because I'm only using the nib on one and the brush on the other. So I got melon mambo, paper pumpkin. This is the light pecan pie, and then I have old olive. So we'll be using those. Now this lid is for my container that I have everything sitting in. So this is how I like to keep everything organized. And I got these containers at Michael's like in 1998. No, yeah, 1998, I would say. 99, probably. So they're like really old. But anyways, we're going to be playing with, let's see here. Let me get the card pieces out. And now my main card piece, my basic white, this one's actually thick basic white. And it is a half a sheet. It is 5.5 by 8.5. And I scored it here at 4 1/4. Then I have a piece of basic white, not thick. This is 2 3/4 by 2 1/2. And then this one here is 4 1/4 by 3. I have the words die on here. I have the words leaves because I have 4 different pieces of white on here, and I want to make sure I am not stamping the wrong thing on there. All right, now this is the flower, and it's 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. It's actually a piece of scrap because it's not even cut straight. Okay, and then we have a piece of basic black, and this is 4 1/4 by 3 1/2, and that is all we're using today. And so I'm going to get up my flower set up while I'm just letting you look at that. Now I like to let this sit for just a moment, just in case you have this stamp set and you haven't pulled it out for a while. Or if you don't own it and you're like, Joy, you're right, I do need to get that, I'm going to order it. Then you can come back and say, go to my YouTube page, Joy A. Borwedge, unless you want to go to my Joy Borwedge page within 30 days, because it'll be on my Joy Borwedge page. Then I will also download it on my Stampin' for Joy page, and then it's also going to be downloaded on my Joy A. Borwedge YouTube, because my Facebook Lives only have 30 days, and that is not right. They delete everything after 30 days, so I guess it's a way to clear out their servers. I don't know. Brain tech. I am not a techie person, so something, yeah, whatever, right? Okay, so we're going to just do some stamping and some coloring, and there we go. First thing we're going to do is grab the Stampin' Pearson mat, and we're going to bring out the Memento. Now this is a big stamp, so when it's big, I like to take my ink pad to the stamp and just let that get good closure, and then I am just going to put that, oh, there's a fuzzy on there. All right, let me get that people poker from a long time ago, and we'll get that. All right, we're gonna do that again. I'll just put that upside down back in its lid. Check for fuzzies. No fuzzies. Somebody's gonna win this card, so I want it to, you know, turn out nice. All right, so there is the Coneflower, and I'm actually going to wash that off, and the reason why is because I'm going to use it again later, but I want to make sure that when I grab it that it's going to be clean. Okay, so there we go, that is clean, and we'll close that chamois. Okay, so then here, we're just going to die cut this. So we're going to do this one in that, and then this one goes in this one. So we're going to die cut that in just a little bit. And then now we can take the lid off the Memento. Anytime you use Stampin' Blends, these, okay, they have to use the black ink, which is Memento. You cannot use StazOn. That will bleed. Okay, I need my leaves. And tap, tap, tap. One side is darker, so I'm just going to give that a nice even squish. There we have one. Oops. And then we'll do the other one. Tap, tap. Okay, and we're going to put that right there. All right. Then we are going to we're going to color. And I have to kick Bert out of my chair. Aw, yeah. He's a 20-pound cat. All right, people, I'm going to be sitting down. So if anybody has any questions, I'll come back. Okay, so we're going to color. Let's see. We have Old Olive. The markers, the Stampin' Right markers. Now, these are on the last chance list. Hi, Carolyn. Welcome. So these are in the last chance list product. So sales have dropped dramatically because of the Stampin' Blends. And when I color, I prefer the Stampin' Blends just because they make me look like I know what I'm doing. Ugh. And half the time, no. All right, so I am just going to take the nib tip, and this is the dark. There are 2 tips. That is the nib tip, and this is the brush tip. So then I'm going to take the brush tip. Actually, no, I'm going to use the nib tip. And we're going to make squeaky noises. And I am going to color and I'm going to blend those colors in. You can do it however you want. You can do the light color first. You could do the dark color first. It's whatever you want to do. So for me, sometimes I do the dark color, wait until I do the flower. You're going to be like, what the heck is she doing? You always want to have something protecting your surface. One of the reasons why I really like this glass mat is because it doesn't matter what surface you have, it makes it flat. So it gives you the perfect surface for stamping on. I mean, even if you are stamping on like a TV dinner tray, it'll make your surface hard and it'll give you a good surface to color in. Okay, so if you want to have more darkness, just go back in and let that bleed in. And you want to make sure you hear that snap, because if you don't hear the snap, that means that it's not getting the color that it wants. And you can color on top of color. Okay, so now we're going to put that off to the side. This one, okay, so we can put these away. So like I said, I did this for, I always do the swatching because I want to see which colors are the darkest. So on the pumpkin pie, it happens to be the nib tip. So where the artist has the lines, that is where I am going to go. Now I was going to do Berry Burst and Timid Tiger, but those colors are being used in a bin, and so I said Melon Bombo and Pumpkin Pie will do it for me tonight. All right. So that is the pumpkin pie. Now I am going to take the light Melon Mambo brush and I am going to start with my color going this way. And I like to lay down my brush a little bit. So I'm not coloring like this with my brush, because my tips, I don't want them to get ruined. And when I color my rhinestones, I always use the nib tip. Again, I do not want to ruin my bristles on my brush. I had a coneflower in my garden for 1 year. It only, well, technically one plant came back, but it was kind of like this color. It was like an orangish, like a pinkish orange, and it was kind of a newer color. And 1 year it came back, but then the other plant didn't come back. And I was so sad, so sad. All right, now I could leave it like that if I wanted to, but guess what? I am not gonna. But I do need to grab my color lifter, and I have that in a bin. That, where do I have it? There we go. I found it. All right, now this is a color lifter. And I'm just kind of pushing the color back in. Okay, I think that was it. There was like a little tiny spot right there. Okay, so then now we are going to take the light paper pumpkin, the light pumpkin brush. Now this one is kind of getting old. You can kind of see the tip is kind of looking funky. That's okay, the tips can look funky. I'm not getting close to the ends. I mean, isn't that color just cool? All right, then we're taking the dark pumpkin again. And we're, again, kind of hitting those main lines. There is no wrong way to color. All right, and then we're going to do the dark melon mambo. Brush. I'm not talking because I'm concentrating on trying to stay within the lines. I'm really like, wow, look at the color on that. So pretty. Okay, then we are going to take the light pumpkin pie, and we're going to, I colored outside the lines again, a little too fast. All right, then we're going to do that was the light Melon Mambo brush. And then we're going to take the nib tip of the pecan pie and color the outside edges and get a little bit more pink in there. All right. And we'll do right there. Okay, so we are done coloring. I mean, how pretty is that? So these are going to get die cut using this and our leaves. And I don't have fingernails. Gosh darn it. All right, so then we're going to, now we're going to do the inside of the card. And we're going to use Melon Mambo. Thank you, Tina. All right, so we're just going to do a little bit in the corner. I always want to have something on the inside to represent what we have going on. All right, so then now we are going to do, so I did a little stamp surgery on this one. This one says, happy belated birthday. I took belated off and cut this. Okay, so it now says, happy birthday. If I wanted belated, I could stick that in there. For me, I send more happy birthday cards if I sent them. I am the worst person, I admit. I am the worst person at sending birthday cards. Except for my Facebook Lives. I could do that. But I have a perpetual calendar, and I actually flipped it over. It's in September, so I guess it's not too bad. So this is going to say celebrating you and Melon Mambo. And so I can close that up now. And let's see, there we have it. It says happy birthday. And that is going to go right underneath. And then we're going to do the spots. I like the speckles. So that is just going to kind of give us a little bit of color throughout there, okay? And now we are going to clean up our stamps. because the colors tend to change the photopolymer. And then we're going to come back and use, I forgot, I need to do more with the Coneflower. I designed this card in different, I didn't do it in a normal run. And so when I go back in and do a Facebook Live, I don't necessarily do it the same way. I should, but I don't. That's my creative brain doesn't go that way. I'll do things and I'll change things up, and then when I get to my Facebook Live, it's like, oh, that's what I wanted to do. All right, I kind of forgot that I needed to, what is that? Is that a fuzzy or is that a, yep, fuzzy. All right, we are going to ink this up. Numerous times. And, I mean, if you did this with just black and white and not doing any color, this would actually be kind of cool. You could do like a 60th, I don't know, yeah, 60th birthday. Somebody who's turning 60, you know, black and white would be kind of fun. And then you could do the not 29 card. Not 29 anymore. I love that birthday set. It's in the online store. It's kind of snarky. Giving somebody, poking fun at somebody who has turned older when they're really not a young puppy anymore, a spring chicken. All right. And you can turn this around as much as you want. And this, you know, it's like making our own designer series paper, and I just got ink in my fingers. That's why I say let's get inky, because I am the one that does that. I'm the one that's getting inky. All right, so now I am going to just do the bottom, because I'm going to kind of come up here and, wait, never mind. Let's do the end there. There we go. And right there. There we go. Now we got like our own designer series paper. And if you wanted to color all that in, it would show through. Because, let me show you what it looks like on the back side. That's the reason why on the inside of the card, I only did ink. I did not do the blends. Okay, so then now we are going to move this over, clean off the flower once again, and grab the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now, for those of you who have seen other demonstrators, I cut my chamois in quarters, so that way when I have stamp camps, when I have events, I have chamois at each station. There's something in there, but that's, oh well. As long as it stamps clean, I don't care. Okay, let me grab the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Come on, close up. There we go. Grab the Post-it notes. And so like this one here, I put a Sharpie, and that signifies that this is the spot it needs to go to, because this side won't cut it out. All right, so let me get that going. Grab that Post-it note. Now I'm actually going to put that die piece off. It doesn't need to, it's not going to cut anything. And then we'll put the green leaves on. And I reuse my Post-it notes until the sticky is gone. There's one, and here's the other one. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put this on and roll that through. And then we'll have to put the other piece on last. Okay, I'm right-handed, so I always bring it back over here. Take the Post-it notes off. And I'm going to take the leaf dies and put them on my magnetic sheet over here. And see how nicely those cut out? Beautiful. And here is the flower. I've done many Facebook Lives with this, and so they are on my YouTube page. And if you go to my YouTube page, don't forget to like and subscribe and share. All right, and then do that with this page too, please. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. All right, so see how that piece is right there? I'm just gonna snip that off with my paper snips. And doesn't that look pretty? Okay, then this here. Now I don't want to put this, because this is a flat edge and that's a flat edge, I don't want to put them in so they go straight. I want to put them kind of at a diagonal. And that way it does not put that much pressure on the rollers as it goes through. Now this one is cut pretty close to the edge, so I am going to put a piece of Post-it note on it. This one, it doesn't matter really, because I have enough all the way around. All right, so we're just going to roll those through. Now those nesting dies are from Branching Out, and that is in the Holiday Mini Catalog. And when you come to the stamping event, you will be creating a card with that. When you come to my stamp camp, you'll be using that. And the virtual event, you'll also be using that. Okay, so that is done. And I love the stitching that's all the way around that. Okay, those are secure on the magnetic sheet. This is going to go back in. All right. I'm going to take a sip here. Oops, there's a Post-it note. I'm going to stick that back over there. Okay, let's put this card together. I'm going to grab my silicone craft mat and my adhesive. So where'd that go? Right here. Okay, so I'm going to take this and attach that right here. Okay, and then we're going to take dimensionals. Oh, I forgot to restock them. I get to start a new bunch today. Yay. I will not start a new pack of dimensionals until I use all of the edges. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then I'm going to take the Stampin' the Take Your Pick tool at a slight angle, just stab and grab those backings, because I think paper crafting is a great way to stab things and then not end up in jail or anything like that. Okay, come on, move it. I don't have fingernails. I've been putting this ugly pink, it's like a, it's made to help nourish, I guess, your fingernails. Mine kind of suck. So we're going to do that. Oh, I forgot to put the greeting on here. Well, hopefully it will work. We're going to do, it's your day. We're going to do that. Right there. It's your day. And then we're going to put these. Actually, we're going to put a little bit of adhesive right there. And let's see, how are we going to do this? I think, ooh, I kind of like that. Yeah. Okay. So, dry fit. Let's put that. Grr. Get so irritated. All right, so we're going to put that like that. And then I should have moved this over more. I think I am going to do that. Because, oh, there we go. There's always a way to fix things. All right. Let's grab, let's see, basic white. Don't I have any basic white out and about? Yep. Okay, I'm just going to take this and go cut another piece. So my original card, I made it this way. And so I don't have a card that I have made this way. So I think just doing it as we go. We're kind of crafting on the fly. But I already know what I'm, kind of doing. There we go. Let's do that. There we go. This is how the die, this is the branching out dies, and it is in the Holiday Mini Catalog, And like I said, it's a sleeper. It's right here. It's on page 50 in the holiday mini catalog. And it comes with 10 dies. Okay. So now we can attach this to our black piece. There we go. And then stab and grab those dimensionals. And then we'll stick the leaves on. There we go. You can go like that. Nah, go like that. I like that. Okay, nope, nope, nope. A little bit too much over the card. And I don't push down until, there we go. We can push down now, except for the leaves, because that is, I should put one more there too. Let's take its backing off. Stay. There we go. I want my leaves on there first. There we go. And this one. But I don't want it, I want it to fit in the envelope. That's why, that's what I'm worried about. Don't have fingernails. So take your pick tool is your best friend. There we go. That was. Anybody ever have this much trouble putting a card together, but not not doing it on a Facebook Live? There we go. Stick that little puppy up in there. There we go. Nice. Okay. And this one. That one. Do. Okay. Now I think we're good. Perfect. Okay, I love that. Then we are going to make a bow using the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. It's in the annual catalog on page 127. However, if you go into the online store in that search bar, all you have to do is type the word Baker's Twine and everything for Baker's Twine pops up. And then same thing for you can put embellishments on there. If you can put ribbon, type in the word ribbon, and everything for ribbon comes up. If you type in the word like like adhesive, anything that has the word adhesive in the name will show up. Okay. Then, yeah, that's how I like to go and get my stuff in the online store. I don't remember names very well. All right, so as you can tell, I'm getting close to the end, and I put cuts in my cardboard, and that helps me. I have, ever since our linen thread came, it started coming like this rather than our flat pack. I liked it when it was flat. I have been doing that since then. So we have this nice bow that we're going to put on a mini glue dot. And let's do this way. So we're going to take that, squish it, and I'm going to stab it. I'm going to stick that kind of in between those leaves. I mean, like, isn't that pretty? Wait until we add the Stella on there. Oh, Winnie the Pooh. Okay. Then we give that a little snip. A little snip. Grab the Stella. And then color the lines. I mean, how pretty. Can you see the sparkle? There it is. You can see the sparkle? Sparkle, sparkle. All right. Yes, Carolyn, you need to get that set. I agree. All right, so then we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to kind of color in a little bit with our Stella on the flower on the inside. And one last thing, we're going to clear that off. All right, get rid of that. And get rid of all right, so we're going to take the pumpkin, dark pumpkin. I always use the dark when I'm coloring my rhinestones. And grab a medium one. And a small one. Okay. I'll grab my scissors. I'll put one right down here in the corner. And then one right there. And then the little guy. Do, do, do. Right there. Okay. So, what do you think? So the original card is this one from number 29. And now this card, this was my original card. And I didn't like the Mellow Mambo up here, so I did it in black. And then I'm like, well, what happens if I just take it and turn it sideways? Because when you see something like this here is a piece of basic white, okay? And then this is another piece of basic white. And then this is another piece of basic white. And this is a big piece of basic white. I have 180 kits ready to go for the event November 1st. I'm going to be prepping 40, 60, 80. 80 kits for the event, for our virtual event. And my stamp camp, I am prepping for 8. I am almost out of basic white cardstock, so I am trying to limit myself. And so that's why I did the thick basic white, because I only used 1 sheet. And then I used a scrap here and a scrap here. So if you would like to win this card, you can do that by doing a thumbs up. Thank you, Tina, very much. You could do a heart. So by doing that, that will get your name entered into the drawing. If you leave a comment, you have to leave the comment on the video. You can't leave it on the posts that I take a picture of. That doesn't count. So it's on the video. And then, so leave a comment on the video and then share this. Now, if you share this on your timeline, you get 2 entries. 2. And that helps me out with Facebook. If you interact with me while on video, watching the replay, you can interact with it. So if you come back and share this on your timeline, that helps me out too with Facebook. So, and I appreciate that. Gosh darn it, I just did my freaking nails. See, they just don't. Thank you, Dawn, very much. So thank you very much for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. I was going to say Thursday evening. I'm actually not sure if I will be live on Thursday. Just because I have my my stamp camp this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I just want to make sure that I have everything ready. Yeah, you're the one that actually, I wrote on there who won it. And yeah, so I've been forgetting to write probably the last 100 Facebook Lives, or the last 100 that I, whoever won, I've not been putting on there who won and writing it on the list. But thank you guys very much for all your support. I hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you guys this weekend, whoever's coming to my stamp camp. I look forward to it, and happy stamping.